Here we go. We're going to play a little bit of music. Hello, everybody. It is Skip Clark. I am the host of Skip Happens. And of course, tonight, she's down there. It's Deb Lamphere. It's my partner in crime when we do the podcast. She is also the president and founder of the official country music fan club and spends a lot of time in Nashville. And we have a very special guest. I'm going to make sure I can get it up here because I want to play a little bit of this. So I'm going to bring this music down and I'm going to click on this here just a little bit. There's a song that you're going to hear a whole lot of pretty soon. So I'll let you listen to this a minute, then we'll introduce you to her.
You got a floorboard that needs to feed. A voice is calling shotgun. A hand right there to reach across the center console and hold on to your knee. Well, I know a girl. If you got a stretch of beach somewhere in Carolina that needs pink painted toes on a towel I'll bathe beside you while the whole world in the sunset all goes flying by. I know a girl. I know a girl. I know a girl who's to sleep about you. I know a girl can hardly breathe around you. She ain't halfway across the country. Now she's closer than you think. If you want someone who wants to give you everything, I know a girl.
And we know a girl.
I love it.
And we're going to get to know her a whole lot better. And she's singing that song right there. It's called, of course, I Know a Girl. I want you all to say hello to MaRynn Taylor. How are you? Yay.
Oh, I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Thanks for coming out with Deb and I tonight here on Skip Happens.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, we're happy to be talking to you. We're all about the artist. We're all about the independent artist. And people like yourself, I know you are signed with Black River, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. How exciting. But to somebody that's you're chasing your passion and your dream, and you have big dedication to what you do, and rightfully so. So, MaRynn, one of the first questions we ask all of our guests, where are you? Describe your surroundings.
I'm actually at Black River, and I'm actually in the conference room where they have all like the huge meetings and everything, and they have these like I don't know. I thought it'd be a good background, like these wooden doors right here. You know,
that's very cool.
I love that. I love that look. When I go to Nashville, I got to stop in and say hello. Yeah, I know it is absolutely. That's cool.
But yeah, downtown Nashville, Music Row. It was pretty hot today. It was about 98.
My kind of weather.
Yeah, here because we're based in Syracuse with the podcast, it was 92 today, and the heat index I want to say was about 98. They call it the real feel, about 98 degrees. So not the group, the temperature, but yeah, amazing. Let's talk about you a little bit though. Let's talk about your beginnings. How did you get started in music? And then we'll slowly bring it up to date and talk about the song that's going to be on the radio. A whole lot, I might add, coming up really soon. So let's hear all about you, MaRynn.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Michigan. So actually the heat down here is a little much sometimes. But I've lived here for about 2 years now, and moved here when I was 17. But my whole life I've been surrounded by music, and I love 90s country women is really what I grew up on. And it was just all that I knew. And even like going to church and listening to music there, it was hard not to just be love music, you know? So I started to sing around like my hometown, a little like open mics. I was around like 12. Like,
oh wow,
shows. Like I'd sing anywhere they'd let me, basically. But that was really fun, and I did that for a while. I mean, I still do that now. I sing wherever people will let me.
All right.
But
that's what we like to hear.
But,
so yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I had a spring break trip with my family when I was about 12, and I came here to Nashville, and we did like the Ryman and went downtown Broadway and did like the whole thing, you know. And I just fell in love with it. It felt like home. And it's my official home now, which is pretty cool to still say, even though I've lived here for like 2 or more years. So Yeah, I just love it.
That's so. I mean, did you move there alone, or did your family come down with you?
My family did too. They live a little out of Nashville, but I lived
Okay,
in Nashville. Yeah,
yeah, that's
Oh,
cool. And you say that was only a couple of years ago. How old were you when you made the move?
I was 17.
So were you like really nervous because you were so young, and here's a big opportunity for you moving to Nashville?
Yeah, but I also I didn't know anything, and I
Hmm.
think that was kind of good for me that I didn't know anything, especially with meeting my label and stuff. It was I know I didn't really know they were a label, and I didn't know really
Right.
what a label was, if I'm being really honest, you know. And
Hmm.
so
mhm.
Hmm.
if I feel like if I would have known that, I would have been like so nervous,
Yeah.
and probably I don't know. I had stage fright really bad too. So um, but yeah.
But so you went to Nashville before you actually met the label,
Yes.
correct? So
Yes.
you were already there for maybe a year or whatever, and
Well,
then
I
you
was
went
there for like a week,
a
and then
week.
for
Okay,
spring break,
all
yeah,
right,
but
okay,
until I
and that was,
moved at 17, yeah.
yeah, all right. Was that CMA Fest?
Yeah, I was like 3 months into living in Nashville,
Hmm.
and it was June, CMA Fest 2019, and, I was there and I was about to go home and because it was raining, it was the end of the
Hmm.
day until I got handed like a flyer that said 60-second spotlight. And I was like,
Oh
okay,
wow.
day's not over. Let's go find what this is. So we went and found it and then found out they were done for the day. They were packing everything up. I'm just showing up.
Oh,
And I was 5 days underage as well. But, you know, we
Oh wow.
conversation and I was just like, "Hey, I'm MaRynn. Can I sing for you?" And they were like, "They're
Yeah.
so sweet, like how they are, you know." And they let me in, and I sang a little more than 60 seconds. They let me kind of keep going. I ended up singing 2 songs, and they asked me a bunch of questions. And I mean, before I knew it, I was at CMA Fest at Nissan Stadium in the suite with them because they
Oh
had invited
wow.
me there that night, which was crazy. Uh,
Hmm.
I saw, like, Kelsey Ballerini and Kane
Oh my
Brown,
gosh.
and, like, everybody was there. But then that whole summer was basically, like, music summer camp, honestly, and, it was probably the best summer ever, getting to
Hmm.
be in the
Hmm.
mhm.
studio for
Hmm.
the first time, writing basically for the first time. And then in November, November 13th, I was on Coffee, Country, and Cody, the AM
Uh-huh.
radio show for
Yes, know it
Africa,
well. Yeah.
and Bill Cody said, "What would you say if we were to give you your record deal right here, right now, live in front of
Mhm.
all these people?" And I just started bawling,
Oh
and
my
Aw,
god.
mhm.
I signed it right there on
Oh
the
my
radio.
gosh. Do you realize how lucky you are? I mean, obviously you do. I mean, a
Yes,
young, you know, talent, a voice that is so just perfect, in my opinion.
thank you.
And somebody knew that. And Black River is very, very good at this. I know with Kelsey and
Yeah,
others, but they said, you know something, this girl is something. We've got to get her. We can't let her go. And they did that. So, and
yeah.
that's pretty awesome.
I did get pretty lucky. It was definitely a God thing, in my
Mhm.
opinion, how it all went down, and it's just like a dream. It's still a dream, and I just got lucky to be with the right people.
Mhm. And now you got a song coming out on the radio, and it's ready to hit radio. And we're, of course, we just played a little bit of it.
Yeah,
That's got to be very exciting for you as well.
it's so exciting, even just to get to say like my song's gonna be on the radio. Like that's so weird to say, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's like yeah, like this is
Mhm.
what I dreamed about, you know, my whole life, and so
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
really it's exciting. I'm so excited.
Now, do you write a lot of your own material, or do you co-write? Explain that creative process for us a little bit.
So basically, like, you get into a room with a stranger, a
Mhm.
co-writer, and you have to tell them kind of your whole story
Oh wow.
and your background, how you got here, and you get to know each other. And then you write a song, and by 3 o'clock, you're done and you have a song. And that's basically every day of my life is writing. And it's so cool getting to know so much of the Nashville community through
Mhm.
doing that. And there's so many talented people here. Like,
Oh, for sure.
it's crazy. Like, everybody here is talented. Everybody.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
You feel like everybody should make it. They're so talented.
I know, really. Yeah, it's tough, but I feel lucky that I get to know them and get to write with them and share them my story and them as well to
Absolutely.
me. So
Does it ever like make you a little bit nervous getting in a room with a stranger and you're like spilling your guts to them and
yeah.
telling them about you and maybe your relationships or whatever, something that's going to make a great song?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I definitely some rights, I'm like, "Oh, I hope I don't say anything stupid." Like, I hope I don't, like, sing a wrong note or something, I don't know. I
Mhm,
mean, I do
mhm.
that all the time, but yeah, it is a little nerve-wracking, especially, opening up your heart to somebody who you
Yeah.
met 5 minutes ago, can be, uh, something to get used to, what was
Mhm.
how I explain it, yeah.
Now, I believe somebody told me last night you were at a writer's round,
I
correct? Did you?
was, yeah.
Yeah. And do you do a lot of those?
I do. It was at the Well, here in Nashville, and I was with my
Hmm.
co-writers, Jason Early and Colton Benner, and we had a
Very
great
cool.
time. It was so fun. It was just like this little coffee shop, and yeah, it was just fun. It's nice to go up there with like your friends, kids, because then it's just fun.
Right, right.
You can like joke around, and it's cool, you know.
You know, that's something like when Deb and I hit Nashville, and Deb's there a whole lot more than I am because she's got business there, but she'll go to these writers rounds and it's the acoustic and it's
Mhm.
very intimate and you get to hear, the real deal. You get to
Mhm.
hear the raw music and it's like,
Mhm.
wow, this is
Yeah.
so
Where
good.
where was your writers round at that you were participating in?
It was at the Well Coffee House. It's
Yeah.
in downtown, a little outside downtown Nashville, still
Mhm.
Nashville, but it's over by Lipscomb University.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so it's a
I
little coffee shop over there, and yeah, it's exactly what you said it is. It's acoustic,
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
intimate, and it's fun. I love them.
Now being signed with Black River, and I'm sure we get a lot of viewers, a lot of new artists, even a lot of local people here in the Northeast, and they go, "Wow, how did she do this? She moved from Michigan to Nashville." And do you? First of all, let me start here. Do you feel you should be in Nashville if you've got inspirations of being a country artist, a country star, being on that big stage down the road? It doesn't happen overnight. Should you move to Nashville, or would you have been able to do that in your hometown in Michigan?
I don't think in my situation I wouldn't have been able to
Mhm.
because, country music is really here, and
Yes.
like the writers are here. And, there's stuff like TikTok and there's YouTube and there's the social media
Mhm.
part of it, which is very heavily in making it,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I think if you want to really get in with like the writers and like the business and to really learn how to do
Yeah,
it, I think you got to be here, you know?
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
we talk to a lot of independent artists, obviously, and they're out there working their business and doing their own thing. So for yourself, working with a label, do you have the opportunity to just go sing where you want to sing? So if you wanted to go, whether it be at some place on Broadway or you want to go back home to Michigan or somewhere, are you allowed to just pick up and go do that?
I mean, pretty much. I'll definitely
Mhm.
let them know, like,
Mhm.
but I mean, yeah, I love singing wherever I
Wherever
can,
you can.
whoever will listen to me. And
Mhm.
um, yeah, I mean, I'd sing in a restaurant. I mean, I don't know. I'd hop up on
Right,
there
right.
and sing, and maybe
Small
people will
crowd,
listen.
big
I
crowd,
don't
you don't care.
know. I really don't. If
It's
as
all
long as I
about
can sing.
Mhm.
it's all
Mhm.
about getting MaRynn out there. That's what it's
Mhm.
about. It's one
Mhm.
fan. I always say it's one fan at a time.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually you've, you know, just
They
super
multiply
huge.
very quickly, let me
Multiply.
tell you.
Absolutely. What did let me ask you a question about Black River and all that because I know Kelsey's there. Are you in meetings like with Kelsey and others of that stature? Do you
Not really. I mean, I've
know?
I've met Kelsey a couple times, and she's just so sweet and
Mhm,
has given
mhm.
me advice, and she's really awesome.
She's
But
awesome.
they work with Black River's really nice. You know, they work with each artist and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in like a business meeting with her. It's been like if I see her at a concert or something and we're all like together in the suite, you know, and I can say hi and 'cause, you know, I'm a fan. I love her music.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you a secret. My son proposed to her at a show. He got
really?
down on one knee. My son is Down
Wow.
syndrome, but Zach got down on one knee and proposed to her. He's been her. Let me just give you a little bit of a background. And if he saw you, he'd probably do the same thing. I said, you got to come down into the studio here. But before Kelsey was at where she is now, my son was talking to her on Facebook, Zach, and they were going back and forth. And then she was on tour with Rascal Flats, and this is
Very
back
cool.
quite a few years. Yeah, and they came through town. Of course, we had them at our amphitheater, and I was doing the radio thing. We do, the radio room and all this stuff. And my son was with me, and Kelsey walked into the room, and he was down on one knee. We've got a picture of it. He got down on one knee and proposed to her. He didn't have a ring, but he faked it. He's like, will you, and I took a picture and sent it to her, and she put that on her, I think it was her Twitter. So it was kind of cool.
That's so cute.
So, and that's what country is all about. For her to, it's just that relationship with the fans and how they come across, with you and just everybody. It's these artists are so down to earth and so one-on-one. We're all just real people, and we're all trying to do what we love, just trying to make it work. Now, on the note of Twitter, how are you with social media?
Social media can be tough sometimes. I mean,
Mhm.
I feel like it's changing all the time, but I know I love TikTok too. I will scroll for days and but I love interacting with the people who support me and follow me, and
Mhm.
those people really mean the world to me, and like seeing them like either like my post or comment, you know,
Mhm.
um, or follow me, ask me questions, and interact with me is my favorite thing, honestly. So I do agree. I feel like country music artists are close to their fans and
Mhm.
genuinely
Mhm.
really care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very grounded, very family oriented.
Yeah.
Mhm. Now, does somebody at Black River handle your social media, or do you do it?
I do
Or
it.
is that a combination of both?
I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I'll like if I have an idea, I mean I do have like a team here where I can go and be like, "Hey, is this
Mhm.
a good
Mhm.
idea?" Or there's definitely strategy around it, and there's definitely um like graphs, not graphs, but like I just posted a thing for like a round and there's like the template for it basically of saying like
Mhm.
here's who I'm gonna have and like they make those stuff and then I post it. So it's definitely a team thing, but it's me like interacting with like the fans and stuff. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. This is really cool. The pandemic. How did that affect what you do and who you are? I know you're lucky enough to be signed to Black River. I mean, did you still go in every day, or they let you stay home and you did everything over Zoom, or like what we're doing here
Mhm.
tonight? Um,
Yeah.
how did that affect you and your everything that you do?
Yeah, it definitely affected it, but I think I'd like to look at it in a positive view. I was
Mhm.
writing all the time. It was Zoom writing, which is pretty tough, but it was safely being in the studio, and I recorded I Know a Girl during the pandemic. So,
Oh,
I mean, and we got that out there and it happened. So, it wasn't stopping me from putting out music. And I think it was lucky for a lot of artists that it wasn't stopping them. And I think we were all
mhm.
doing the best we could to like stay connected when we couldn't be
Mhm.
face to face, you know?
Mhm.
But I made the best of it. We all did, and I'm just lucky I got to write constantly and be in the studio all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Deb and I, we hear a lot from the artists that the pandemic sucked. We get that, but it also was really beneficial to the artists where they were able to kind of take a step back and look at everything they're doing. And when it came to the writing, they were a little more creative, except for the Zoom side of things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, one thing we did hear, and correct me if I'm wrong, Deb, is the fact that there's nothing better than being in the same room and feeling the vibes of the person next to you and the body language and all that when you're writing. Zoom, obviously, we don't get that. I mean, we're looking at a TV screen, so
it
or
was
a monitor.
Nice to have Zoom, so you can still write, but there's that delay. So it's like, you know, when you write a song, you can't sing along with each other. You know, if someone else is playing guitar, I can't sing along with them because of that delay, which was hard. But I mean, I wouldn't have been able to write if I didn't have Zoom, you know? So
No, absolutely. Absolutely. What about, I mean, did you do like online gigs? Did you do the Facebook Lives that a lot of artists were doing? I mean, was that one way that you could stay with it and stay current?
Yeah, I did a couple of those, and they were super fun. I liked getting to connect with people, and I never really done them before. So it was really nice to try it out and see how I feel about it. But I definitely love performing.
You liked it?
In front of a
real
an audience. I can see the faces. Yeah.
Another thing Deb and I always ask is if you could have a discussion with any artist right now, kind of pick their brain, dead or alive. If there was somebody that you could go, you know, I just want to talk to you and pick your brain a little bit, who would that be?
Wow, that's a good question. I'd want to talk to so many people. I'm trying to narrow it down. I mean, probably Carrie Underwood.
Okay.
Just with how she entertains and how she keeps her voice like perfect all the time.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too.
Yeah. And she seems like super nice and kind and genuine. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'd get along with her and I'd love to just hang out, I guess. You know?
Yeah. No,
it's funny that you say that. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because as you were talking at the beginning stages of how you started your career, I immediately thought of Carrie Underwood because she just, you know, wasn't sure if she was going to go to American Idol. And she decided basically last minute, hey, I guess I'll go do this. And look what happened. And here you were like, oh, here's a piece of paper. Let's just go check it out and see what it is. And you walk in there and then boom, they love you. So that story kind of mirrored how her career path started. So if you follow in those footsteps, you got a great career ahead of you.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll take it. I never thought of that. That is kind of similar how
it is a similar story. It really that was what came to my mind as you were speaking that. So
I remember
I interrupted you.
No, not at all. This is what we do. You know, sometimes it's hard with this because there is a little bit of a delay every once in a while. But with Carrie Underwood, when she won Idol, I think that right after that, and I know one of your label guys is listening here, Brian, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was right after that they had the CMAs in New York City. And we were broadcasting live from right across Madison Square Garden. Carrie Underwood was there with her mom. And I can still remember her with the ponytail, just kind of hanging out. They had this get together across the street and all the radio people went. And I remember a good friend of mine who's a label guy. He said, come on, you want to meet Carrie Underwood? So I went over to say hello. But, you know, I remember seeing her then you see her now. And it's just, it's amazing. Amazing. She continues to entertain and she's just so powerful. And like Deb said, I can see that in you already as well. So
thank you.
Really cool.
I don't know what I'd do if I met her. I don't know. I'm such a fan of country music. I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably like freeze. I don't know. I hope I wouldn't. I'd be like, hey.
You know, a lot of the ladies, when Deb and I ask, they say Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah, I love Dolly too.
You know, they'd love to pick her brain. Or there's Reba McEntire or Shania Twain. And you were talking about 90s country. So, and you know, I'm madly in love with Reba.
Jody Messina, you know,
loved all that music. Yeah.
Like if I could just be in a room with them and just pick all of their brains. Yeah.
That would be one heck of a song at the end of the day, that's for sure.
If you could collaborate with any one of those, who would it be? Do you think because Kelsey's your label mate, maybe you would do something with her down the road?
Absolutely. I mean, I'd love to do something with her. Like even write with her. I love to pick her brain as well. Yeah, that would be a really cool thing to be able to do. I mean, I would say any of those women,
Yeah.
in a heartbeat, be like, okay, yes.
Let me
Pick
throw
a
this
card,
in.
any card. I'll take
Yeah,
them
I
all.
know exactly. What
Yeah.
about a guy? What about a guy artist? If you could collaborate, I was surprised, and I'll tell you, really, when I heard the Jason Aldean and the Carrie Underwood duet, I went, that's one of those that I would have never imagined.
Right.
And what a hit that is because of Carrie. It's
It like came out of nowhere. I feel like they just like posted about it, and then I was like, oh, this is so cool. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So who would have thought? So if there's a guy that you could collaborate with, who do you think that, or who would you like to?
Probably Brett Eldridge. His
good choice.
Yeah, his new album, Sunday Drive. I listened to it, and that's like I could play that album over and over again and just love it even more than I did the first time. So, and his voice is so great. So I think probably him. Yeah. Probably him.
What kind of advice could you give somebody that just starting out like you? I mean, you've done really well. You're on the right path, but somebody says, wow, I want to do what she's doing. But what advice would you give them?
I'd probably say, because I know me, I got a lot of no's, and I got a lot of like, that's not a job, or like not good enough, or I feel like if you get told any of those things, like you don't have to listen to them. Always take constructive criticism and use it and take it in. But those no's shouldn't stop you. Those no's shouldn't bring you down, because I got a ton. And I feel like
you're not the only one.
I mean, I got a ton of no's, but I let them get to me a couple times, like, trust me, but I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be here without those no's. And they make
because it made you better. It made you stronger. Absolutely. And like you said earlier, there's so many people in Nashville doing the exact same thing you are, trying to make it big. You do have a contract. You're off and running, girl. But there's so many there that some are going to make it, and a whole lot are not. And a lot of them are getting turned down every day. But you know what? Like you said, it makes them a better person. But there's so many good, and there's twice as many that aren't as good. So did that make sense? I don't know.
It does, but usually it's like a 10-year run before an artist really starts to make it somewhere. That's what they say that time frame is. Like, don't get discouraged until you've been here for 10 years.
Even longer than that, there's been a couple people, but I mean, everybody's path is so different. When I first moved here, I thought, it was going to take 10 years before I even meet a publisher or something, it's just, you never know. And even if you feel like it's taking too long, you could meet somebody tomorrow, and then that path of making it could start. And just not to give up too easily.
There you go. Excellent.
So were you?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Were you one of the artists that, when you say you received a lot of no's, did you try to send your music out to all the different record labels? Were you knocking on doors? How were you trying to seek out your career?
I was just, when I was like 16, 17, I was just trying to play wherever. I didn't really know what to do. I really didn't know like what a label was. I didn't know what a publisher was. I didn't know how to get started until I met Black River, and they taught me what you kind of have to do to get started. And so I knew absolutely nothing.
That's great though. They trained, they can teach you well.
They know what they want, and they're gonna make that happen for you.
Yeah.
So, which is really good.
I'm glad I have them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love their term. Even if
no, I'm looking at Brian's name here. Even if Brian Rhodes, he's like, he's listening to this. He's going, yep, she's right. Yep, she better like it.
I love the term of music boot camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you are just thrown into it and you just have to figure out everything and make it work.
Like being in the studios at Soundstage here in Nashville, they're like the huge studios, and like Luke Combs was here over like a couple months ago, and it's like, these are huge artists using these huge studios. So even step foot in one, it's like there's a vibe. It's like, it's intimidating, but so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've walked through a couple of those studios and I'm just like in awe because I'm such a geek when I see the board and I see everything that's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's like, this is amazing. And all the separate rooms, you get the guitar player over here, you get the drummer in this room, you get everybody's kind of split up, but how they bring it all together and these producers, and you get your board ops and all that, everybody just works together and brings it together. And then the final project just blows you away.
Yeah. It is crazy how we all work together to do it. And those buttons all on there, I'm like, I don't know what they do, but I'm glad they do. Like,
they work.
You just go up to the microphone and do your thing. That's all.
That's all.
We'll take care of the rest.
Yeah. They're good at
what
it.
about,
I'm impressed. Yeah.
What about your family? I mean, are they in the do they have any musical background, or are you the only one in the fam that's doing this? Or
I mean, my dad loved music growing up, and like he played in church and stuff, but we all loved country music, and we all shared that love of it. But yeah, I'm basically the only one who got the bug for it. Yeah.
But you got the support of your family because they moved up they packed up and moved into the area as well outside of Nashville. So
yeah, they live in like a half hour out.
Yeah.
So you all moved there together, and you moved in with them, and then you moved out from them?
Yes, I did. Once I got old enough, I could afford like my own place, and
it's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, be a grown up for the first time. It
has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that your mom and dad, that they are somebody that when you kind of get overwhelmed with everything that's going on, that you can go and have a conversation with them and they'll listen to you and support you with whatever you decide at that point?
Yeah, I know. I can go to.
Cool.
I have a lot of people to go to too. I mean, Black Panther is definitely people I can go to as well. But yeah, there are times I can get a little overwhelmed if there's something where I have a performance and I'm like, But yeah, I definitely have a lot of people around me, thankfully, that I can go to. Yeah.
Can I circle around? You're talking about your parents. Can you talk a little bit about your song, Dads and Daughters, and how that all came about?
I was going to get there. Yep. You're reading my mind.
So Dads and Daughters, I wrote that with Jason Early, and I wrote it actually the summer of 2019. So that was the boot camp. I wrote that song in. That was the first song I put out. It's the first song I wrote kind of professionally in Nashville, which was really cool. And I was so nervous to get into the write because, I was like, what if I'm like dumb? What if I don't know. What if I throw out an idea and it doesn't work?
Right.
But we ended up writing about my dad, and it's been really cool to watch too on daddy-daughter dances at weddings. Getting those videos and just people telling me that they're playing it is like crazy because like that's an important day and they're playing my song, like and it's so cool. It's like it's touching them and it's they're loving it, and it's pretty cool to watch.
You must have been very proud of that song no matter where it went when you were done with it. It could have gone a million miles, it could have stayed close to home, but that's something to really be proud of.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a couple videos out there. There's one, the official music video has like home videos, and then there's an acoustic version, and then there's the lyric video, which has 500,000 views, which is pretty cool. I've never had a video hit that. So
yeah.
shows people like it, which is cool.
Do you follow those numbers? Do you follow the numbers on Spotify or, YouTube?
For
What have
sure.
you?
Yeah, even like the comments on
Mhm.
the lyric video too. I love to read through them and comment back to them, especially on a song like that when they're like,
Very
"Oh, I'm
cool.
gonna play this at my wedding," and I'm like, "Yes, thank you." Like, great. Yeah, I definitely like seeing what people think of my stuff, and
Mhm.
they're liking it. And I'll have new music too that I'm working on, so I'll be doing the same
I
thing
love it.
with that.
I love
Yeah.
it. Tonight we're chatting with MaRynn Taylor here on Skip Happens podcast, and it's also video, as you can see. But what a great artist, and I highly recommend that you go and you check out these videos. You can find them on YouTube. Just songs that are just phenomenal. Now let's get to the fun part of this. What do you do for fun? What do you do when you want to break away and like just kind of put it to the side for a little bit? What do you do?
I mean, I love to paint. That's like a little hobby that I like to do. I love to paint. I love to bake. That's something I do in my new apartment now is I'll bake cookies, and I make chocolate chip pumpkin cookies is like
Oh, yum.
everything I make.
Ooh.
And fall's coming
Do
up. I'm so excited for fall.
Do you take those cookies into the office?
Absolutely. They love them. They love them. They love them here. I'll put them on the counter and then I'll go work. And then I love when I come back and the plate's empty.
Just a
It's
few
like the
crumbs
best
left on the plate. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
But yeah, I do that. I love the simple things. I love going to watch the sunset in Nashville because I think there's
wow.
something really dreamy and cool about that.
Oh,
I
totally.
love going to find different places to eat. There's a lot of places to eat in Nashville.
It'll take a long time before you get to a
Yeah.
whole lot of them. There's so many of them.
Yeah. What's your favorite place to eat, Deb? You're in Nashville so much. Where do you guys usually go?
Believe it or not, one of my favorite places is Rippy's. That's downtown, and they have these great huge barbecue salads there. Plus, I love Rippy's anyway. There's always great talent there too. But I don't know. There's so many. We've been trying to try a different restaurant every time we're there. Now we're working on the 5th and Broadway. We just hit the margarita place there last time that we were there.
And that's pretty new, right?
That is new. Have you been over there?
I haven't been over there, but I mean, I saw it. I haven't gone like in it, but I have seen how built up it is now, and like all the restaurants, like Hattie B's is right there.
Yeah.
My favorite is Patty Sane. Patty Sane is in 5th and Broadway too. Yeah.
They have a beautiful rooftop venue there that who knows, you may be playing on that stage before you know it, but it's beautiful over there. Yes.
Do you get out to places like the Station Inn at all? I love the Station Inn. I know it's been there forever, and it's on the outskirts of town. It's a ways out, but you see, that's Dirk Bentley. I went out there years ago and saw him play with the bluegrass band and stuff. It was just such a good time. It's one of those places where the tourists don't know about, which is cool, and you don't have to deal with all that's going on. So
I have heard of it, and I have heard of Dirk Bentley being there and stuff like that, but I've never been there. So yeah, I'd love to go somewhere like that.
Awesome. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Tough question, I know.
How old will I be? I'll be 25.
Touring with Carrie Underwood.
It doesn't matter how old you are. It's your talent.
I'm telling you, that's where she wants to be.
I know.
That'd be a dream. Wow. Yeah, sure. I'll take that.
Well, her last tour, she toured with all women.
Yeah, I went to
very
that.
much
Right. That's
endorsing the women. So you have a very good shot there.
Yeah, Runaway June and MaRynn Taylor, they were amazing.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, they were really good. But yeah, also going on tour with Carrie Underwood. I don't know. I mean, I'd really love to go on tour with anybody. I mean,
no, that's it.
Go on tour.
Totally.
have more music out.
I was going to ask about that too. So
Yeah, probably have like a ton of music out, hopefully. um, I don't know. I don't mean to be cheesy, but I hope I'm just
no,
happy. And I hope,
no, exactly. It's
yeah,
not cheesy. It's
Mhm.
true. You want to be happy.
yeah,
And you're chasing your dream, as I
Mhm.
mentioned earlier. It's a passion that you have. You got great people behind you. You're a step ahead of so many others.
Mhm.
Um, it just
Very much so.
you're doing it, and I'd love to hear like a full album soon. Like to hear all,
Mhm.
not just. I don't know if you're working on that now. I would assume you've got something in the works or starting to piece
we
stuff
got stuff
together.
in the works. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
I know.
always something in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
No,
stuff coming. Yeah.
good, good. We can't wait. Can't wait to hear more. And the new single that's going to hit radio is just phenomenal. I know it's going to be. I've already committed to putting it in our playlist here in Syracuse in the Northeast on the Wolf. We are the actual Wolf. We are WOLF FM. Write that down, Brian. WOLF FM in Syracuse. And
Mhm.
we're locally owned and operated, but we're number one now, and proud to say it. And because I get to program the music, and I really love the artists that are just starting out like yourself, and a lot of independent artists that deserve to be heard. They deserve to be heard. Everybody does.
Mhm.
Just everybody looks at it in a little different way. That's all.
Mhm.
And there's so much great talent. So
Mhm.
much great talent. If we go to the website, MaRynnTaylor.com, what are we going to find?
You'll probably find maybe some articles that I've been in. You'll find all my music there. It's all there. My social medias. Go follow me.
Cool.
Most of the stuff is just MaRynn
Click
Taylor.
and go.
Yeah,
Click and go.
pretty
Click
much.
and
What
go.
would we do without the internet? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well,
We
we
would be
would have
so
never met
lost.
this beautiful artist. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
It's so much
gosh.
talent. Just
Talent,
crazy.
information at, your
Mhm.
fingertips. It's
Mhm.
just amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been able to sing the national anthem at any of these major events that go on around the country?
Yeah, I sang at a Detroit Lions football game back home in Michigan. I sang the
Woohoo.
national anthem there, which was
Were you
I was
scared?
nervous to say the
I was
least.
that's why I just said, were you
That's a
scared?
lot of people. It was a ton of people. It was
Yeah.
full. I think they said it was something like 63,000 or something crazy like
That's
that.
all?
Ooh.
That's all?
That's all. Yeah,
That's all?
normal.
Just and I'm sure like, hey, MaRynn, it's just a few people. Don't worry about it. You're going to
Yeah.
be fine. And then all of a sudden you find out it's like 63,000. It's like,
That was your first stadium tour,
Yeah, that was my
Kate.
first stadium.
yeah, there you
First
go.
stadium.
It was so
Little
cool. I mean, the
Yeah.
practice.
NFL doesn't mess around. They had like when the players came out, it was like fire and smoke.
Mhm.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
It was crazy. But yeah, I sat or not sat, but I stood on this little podium thing and I felt I don't know. I feel like in a stadium you should feel super tiny,
Mhm.
because it's so huge. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I felt really big and I felt like I don't know. Maybe it's because I was standing on the podium because I'm 5'1". I'm short, so I mean
Yeah.
that little bit of practice made me feel big or something. But that was a really cool experience.
Were you able to watch some of the game from the sidelines?
Yes, I mean
And
I saw Matthew Stafford, and I swear he looked over at me, and and I like freaked out. I was like, "Oh my gosh,
oh God, he's
please
looking at
help
me.
me!" Yeah,
I love it.
it was
And
pretty.
when they hit, you can feel it. Do you feel like because these are big guys? These are, of course, professional football players. And
Yeah,
when they hit each other, you can feel the thump. You
yeah,
thump.
you can
It's
hear
like,
it
oh my
too.
God. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. They're
Yeah, it's
and they're
crazy.
so big too. They're just
Crazy.
massive guys out there.
And there's
But
little MaRynn, 5'1". Hi.
I know.
I'm here for the national
Hi.
anthem.
Hey, these little women are very powerful. There's a
Yes.
lot of small,
Yes.
petite women belting out music. Like
Yes.
there's Martina. I mean, there's just so many of them. Maren Morris.
Mhm.
She's very petite. She can. So good things
We
come in small packages.
had
Yeah.
Martina McBride on with us here a while ago. And
Mhm.
I could see you being her in a few years. She was sitting
Mhm.
out back by her pool. We did a whole
Mhm.
podcast with her, and it was
So cool.
just so cool to talk to her.
Mhm.
And of course, she told us a lot of what she was doing back when she was your age and how all that, progressed. And now, of course, her husband, John, being, the sound guy and all that and everything. It's just amazing, amazing stories. And, it's just,
she's got a lot.
Yeah. And we had a Pam Tillis. We had Pam Tillis on with us. We've had so many, and just to hear their stories is phenomenal.
And it all starts here.
Yes.
Right.
That's
it
my
all
point.
starts like yourself at your age, your beginnings. And then in 5 years, you're going to have all these stories to tell of where you are then. And it just, you'll be amazing. And we'll be talking about, hopefully we'll still be alive in 20 years, but we'll be talking about all these great
Thanks for
things.
being so positive about this.
I'm just sitting here thinking, well, she's so young. And I'm like, oh my gosh, 20 years from now, she's kicking butt.
Thank you for being Debbie Downer. Well, if we're all alive.
I did say we, didn't I?
I know you did. I'm kidding with you, but MaRynn, this is awesome getting to know you a little bit and your friends at Black River and what you've done and your start and how all that happened. And I hope anybody that watches or listens to this knows that you get those opportunities, you take them and see what happens. So what? What are they going to say? Nah, we're not interested. All right, you move on. Like you said, you move on. So you know what? But somebody was interested and they know good talent. And we're looking at her right here tonight. MaRynn Taylor. Make sure y'all check out the website, MaRynnTaylor.com. Check out the songs. I'm not kidding. They're going to blow you away. And I can't wait to hear what's coming up next. I know this song's going to hit the radio, but just you got so much to look forward. We got a lot to look forward to. And I know Deb's in Nashville a lot, so hopefully maybe she'll be able to see you out and about somewhere and playing, or I might hide in her suitcase and just kind of go along.
I'm there this weekend. Are you playing anywhere this weekend?
Hey, what did I tell you? She's there every other day.
Every other week, I'm pretty much there.
I'm playing a writer's round next Tuesday night. I don't know if you're there.
That's Tuesday. The day I'm leaving. I'm there Saturday to Monday night, leaving Tuesday. So, I would have loved. Is that at the coffee house?
Yeah, that's at the same coffee place. Yeah.
All right. I'll keep an eye on that place, and then because I'm probably will be back in 2 weeks, so I'll just keep checking it. Hopefully, I could catch.
I'd love to see you there.
So,
and I know she'd love to see you.
And then I'll call Skip, and I'll be like, "Guess where I am?" And then he'll be all.
And I'll be. I'm sorry, Deb. I can't hear you. The phone's breaking up a little bit. I don't know, but yeah.
So I'll definitely try to do that.
Great.
MaRynn Taylor, thank you so much for joining us here tonight on Skip Happens. Like I said, we love to get to know the artist. And of course, this is posted on YouTube as well as we've been live on our Facebook pages in the Country Music Fan Club Facebook page as well. If Deb wants to give all that information, because I never get it right, Deb, I'll let you do it.
Oh, that's okay. Facebook, the official CMFC. So follow us. We'll follow you back, obviously. And we'd love to, when you have new music out, we love putting out New Music Friday. This way we can get your music out to a whole bunch of new fans. And we are also on Instagram, same thing, official _ I think CMFC. So I have a great social media team. They're
and I got Skip Happens. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't. And you can keep up with what we're doing. Plus, you can get the link to this. And I'll send it to you anyway, so you can use it on your socials if you so decide to do that. And I hope you do. MaRynn Taylor, we're going to say goodnight. And I want you to hang on once we sign off here. And just again, for everybody and from everybody here in the Northeast, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast here tonight. We love you. We love what you're doing. And we love Black River. And just keep doing what you're doing. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.